way that Michael is dressed in bright right with some off-brand flag next to him, I feel like this is some kind of terrorist video set that
Off brand.
well now that's the offest of brands. The what's real anarchy? Not taking the time to put your logo on a flag. That's real anarchy. But in any case, with the surprise name, I hate Eric Connor on the screen, the one and only Michael X Shirley.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
testing out some new names.
Michael, before we dive into a few things, last week on the show we mentioned that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is now on Disney Plus, and you almost immediately after the show watched it, and I got some texts during. So you were like 45 days late to the party, but we still want to know, what did you think of Multiverse of Madness?
Well, biggest takeaway, that Shield Man, like, it has become the new guillotine of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is it like the third death we've had? I know there's two, and I want to think there's three.
Well, there's John Walker, there's that
Yeah.
one, and I don't
Yeah.
what's the third one?
I thought there was another one. I could be
Steve
wrong.
would never use it that way.
No, but
Yeah.
no, but I mean, maybe breaking Iron Man's, mini arc like that. That's death of at least a piece of Iron Man. So
Yeah.
count it.
I was really upset that Wanda was actually real Wanda. I was kind of hoping that it was like this bad multiverse Wanda causing all the drama. But then again, when I think about her comic book arcs, I think it makes sense for her. I've never ever liked Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda, but I just accept it.
That's who she is. Yeah, you always thought that Mary Kate should be Wanda.
That's the problem. I just am waiting for her to be like, "You got it, dude." It's just like I can't get those little monkey faces out of my head when I look at her. I just can't. It's like, but I accept it that that's what's going on. I was a little surprised that America Chavez took a Kitty Pryde role. I don't know. I told Christian, I don't know if this is politically correct, but I just expected her to be a little more butch. Like, she was, I just was getting literal X-Men Konami 1995 vibes where you're like trying to save her, like, from every stage. And I guess walking away from it, I'll say that I liked it, but I don't know what to do with Wanda anymore.
I would say nothing for a while. Leave her under the rocks for a little while. I don't know what the next step is, but I don't think you can do anything for a little while.
I have to say, I feel like I'm watching like when, Joker is always worried about like Batman dying, because then who's he going to fight?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm seeing this right now with Michael. Like without Elizabeth Olsen, he's just going to have to take all that hate and put it only towards Catherine Hahn.
She's gonna have a series, so yeah.
I really enjoyed WandaVision. Like, when I take away the fact that I just don't like the casting, I think she does an okay job. I heard that stupid accent creep back in when she was getting a little angry in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And that I was kind of like, But I wanted to know if anyone else noticed in Wondergore, there was definitely a statue of her son Wiccan. I was looking for Speed, but I was definitely a statue of Wiccan. Okay. Yeah.
Well, there are many Speeds and Wiccans in the multiverse, so I figure we'll get them at some point. But there are bigger fish to fry. What did you think of? What did you think of the cameo you ruined for me?
Oh, man,
you really hurt.
I don't want him as Mr. Fantastic.
I don't think he will be. I just think he was in this movie.
He looked like derpy. You know? And I told you this too. I was so shocked, but I loved Haley Atwell as Captain Carter. I thought she was boss. And I liked, not Monica. What's her mom's name? Monica Rambeau's mother. Her in the Captain Marvel role. I thought that was really neat. I'd like to see that in the Marvels. Some kind of maybe twist of like, I mean, maybe we're out of multiverse right now, but given what America can do.
Yes, thanks to Cami Egan who jumped in with the Maria.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Ghost as well.
I really enjoyed that. I also said I thought the way they killed her was garbage, and you can't crush her with a big statue. Like,
I mean, she should be able to protect herself from a statue. I mean,
Christian has a theory that you would have to melt Ms. Marvel's or Captain Marvel's brain.
That would be the only way to stop her. Yeah, which I mean, Wanda definitely could have melted her brain. You know, she's got a fancy brain melting hex that she can cast anytime she wants. She just hasn't yet.
I usually hate how I would like to talk about this later. I feel like a huge Disneyfication has been creeping into like the storylines and how they kind of come together and just the classic kind of whatever. But I did really love how America gave her what she wanted.
Yeah.
And that was perfect for me. A lot of times I'm like, oh, the end, of course, you won, whatever, you saved the world. But that was really good. I really liked because she's so emotional and sensitive and crazy. And that was exactly what she needed to snap out of it.
Yeah, it was for her kids to throw stuff at her. So,
and use none of their superpowers.
Well, I don't know that they had them yet. By the way, according to Daniel, whom I trust implicitly with all details, Speed was there. We're talking about the statues of Wundagore, but he looked almost the same in the face as the Wiccan statue.
Okay.
So I trust Daniel.
I do too. He buys like every single comic book that comes
out. You guys have lots of side threads about your weekly hauls. Cami Egan, I think Krasinski looks great as Reed Richards, but I'm with Michael. I don't want him for the upcoming movie. I mean,
maybe if he gets with Jillian Michaels or whatever that lesbian trainer is, like maybe if she puts him through the ringer, we could see him try this again. But he was looking like spaghetti even before he turned into spaghetti.
But isn't that what he's supposed to kind of look
derpy, flirty? He just looked like unfit.
You want more manicotti, less spaghetti.
Yeah, he didn't look like he would pass the test to go to space.
Well, yeah.
I failed that many times myself. No shame.
That's why we haven't got your flag on the moon.
That you know of.
Yeah, we don't have your anarchy flag on the moon either. But in general, you enjoyed the story. I know that some people are disappointed with Wanda. And then, of course, the biggest cameo, which is what I told you to text me when you saw.
I'm literally considering buying the movie just for those like 5 minutes.
Or just like the 10 seconds where you hear the what's listed in the credits as the X-Men 97 theme.
Yeah, I think I picked that up this time.
Yeah,
that's more you. Like you were more excited for like Julia Leewald and like her husband and like that. You know that like
I'm excited for them. Sure.
I was more excited for the chair, and you were more excited about the score.
No, it's both. It's the combination. It's the entire. It's the fact that it's the chair. Perfect. It's the
perfect chair.
And Dominicus Saxon has a great Seinfeld reference. Fusili Jerry as Mr. Fantastic. So
super Fusilius.
One in a million, Doc. I just wanted to take a moment with that. Whenever I get texts like this from Michael, it makes me nervous. There's a lot of texts from Michael that make me nervous, but we do officially, and we'll talk about Ms. Marvel in a moment, but we have an official casting. And since you're the one who
Mhm.
told
Yeah.
me, and you brought it to my attention. So talk about who we've learned now. Emma Roberts is going to play Michael, and tell us what your thoughts are about this.
Emma Roberts is gonna play me.
You're the one who told me.
Sorry, I misheard you. I thought you said Emma Roberts is gonna play Michael.
I
Like,
think
oh,
she would be
I
great.
think she could.
Yeah, she's got the
Same
range.
mouth. Same
She's
mouth.
got the range in the
Yeah.
mouth. So I didn't know if I thought there might be a 10% chance Christian was gonna lose his ever loving Marvel on me. And I was ready for it. I was like, not gonna have any of it today because we all need to know about this. So apparently, well, wait, we're talking about Emma first?
We're talking about Emma. We're not
Okay.
talking about anyone who's in Thor.
No. Okay.
Yeah, because that's where you've gotten yourself in trouble for 2 movies now.
Oh, that's not what I. All right.
So for people who've been cast, let's talk about Emma Roberts. That's what I'm asking you
Yeah,
about.
Emma Roberts has been cast. I mean, they're not saying who she is, but she's been cast in Madam Web with Dakota Johnson and a bunch of actors who are not like household names, but they're not letting us know who it is. I kind of want to think she might play young Madam Web since they've got a younger Dakota Johnson. I'm feeling like we're not going to get old Madam Web yet, but I don't know. She might be too big of an actress to play like a few-minute younger self version of someone. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Eric, you go first.
Well, it's funny. We always talk about the TV salary versus film salary. Like Emma Roberts on TV, but good name, a lot of projects. Film, not so much. So it is more than possible she might just be
Younger self.
Yeah, because I feel like there's something to be said for if it's a flashback or a prologue or whatever, and you get someone to actually people recognize, but who's not such a big star, they would overpower the rest of it.
Right.
So in some ways, like she might be a perfect scope of an actress to do just that. So I think it's a legitimate theory.
She's incredible at playing like the shittiest of people.
It's those lips. It's those Shirley lips.
My mother's maiden name is Robert, so
I did not know.
Who knows? Maybe.
My mother's maiden name is Kuroff.
I mean, I didn't know we were playing this game. My mother's maiden name is Harder. So anybody else want to? Yeah, Harter. Anybody else want to play? Let us know in the chat.
And also give us the last 4 digits of your social security number.
Yeah, that would help.
Go.
So so we don't think she's playing Madam Web for like the bulk of the movie, but I do agree with Michael that I think a younger version. She could also be a Spider-Woman character. I just wanted to put that out there because they could spin that off from this because she is someone who could top line her own movie at some point. So I don't think she would be Jessica Drew, but that was
the only thought I thought.
You thought that? I mean,
anyone
could she be a Spider-Gwen?
Ooh.
Not with that long face.
I think you're thinking of her aunt when you said that.
I think her face is longer than her aunt's.
Oh, okay.
We need to look on Wikipedia.
It's Jay Leno length.
Well, let us know what you think. I'm not that excited for the Madam Web movie. And Michael, your other item you had in there, I couldn't find anything about it. So if you've read somewhere and
it's a hot mic thing.
But let me just say, it's not something that's from Thor, right? The Dark. I mean, what's
wait? Is this about a certain radio personality?
Yeah, this is about the King of all media.
Yes,
I
read this.
What it's for, but along with what I was reading, most people are thinking this is going to be some sort of animated kind of thing because I really don't see the man in assless chaps coming out,
He also doesn't leave his house anymore. I mean,
he
doesn't leave the Hamptons. He's not going to a movie set. Wait,
did you guys say what? Wait, hold on. Did you guys actually say what you're alluding to?
No.
We're talking about. Well, I said the King of all media, but I guess Go ahead, Michael.
So
go ahead, Eric.
No, Michael, do it.
Go
on
ahead,
a hot
Boff.
mic.
Both.
God, I wish I had my phone. I had the exact quote, and it was just Howard Stern complaining that he was gonna do the Doctor Doom thing, and that it was gonna take a lot of time, and that he asked Robert Downey Jr. for some acting advice. But I personally don't see any. I think there's more chance that Emma Roberts is going to play Doctor Doom in Madam Web than Howard Stern play Doctor Doom in the MCU in any form.
Well,
But
I don't think he would physically play him.
no, I think he's going to be a voice actor in some kind of cartoon or animation, probably.
What if Doctor Doom discovered assless chaps? I think would be a great what if. Perfect.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure that Doctor Doom and Fart Man have very similar origin stories, but don't hold me to it. I'm fairly
Well, I was
sure.
going to say I think Christina Aguilera might be up for that role.
For Fart Man?
For assless chaps. Oh, I see. I get the reference.
No, for Fart Man. No, I'm just kidding. She'll be Fart Woman.
What do you think about all of it, Eric?
I mean, I think it's safe to say, Christian, you and I top 1% Stern fandom.
Are you?
Up until about 2 years. Up until about 2 years ago, but yes.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of being able to know the depth of our knowledge, how much Stern we've listened to over our lifetimes.
Yes, absolutely.
Like as big as Stern fans as you'll find outside of a penitentiary or above ground, and the truth is, like, it makes no sense. I mean, as a cartoon, if it's an ironic cartoon, sure, it'll be hysterical.
If it's like the tone of like the
MODOK,
yeah.
Right. If it's MODOK, yes, sign me up for that. In fact, it could be MODOK. Like that could I could see that as like MODOK season 2 if Doom is in there, Stern showing up, and especially with Jordan Blum as like.
Well, he definitely won't. He's said there won't be a second season of.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe
I talked to him without you one time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was nice of you. I appreciate the.
He's got a great series coming out with Patton Oswalt in August called Minor Threats. That's a Dark Horse series, and he'll pop back on at some point.
Are they like a producing team now?
They've done a few comics together, so I think you might be right. But anyway, finish your thought though, Eric, in terms of having Howard as a voice of Doctor Doom.
Yeah, no, a voice of Doctor Doom. I mean, provided it's the right medium, I'm sure it'll be great because just hearing his voice in any kind of animation will be kind of funny. But I don't know if you guys remember, there was talk of him as Scarecrow in Batman before the
Christopher Nolan Batman.
Yeah, like predating that when it was still Joe Schumacher.
That would have been campy and great.
Yeah, and that would have made sense to have, because I mean he looks already like he shows up and the makeup.
You don't need a lot of prosthetics.
No, I guess we're done. Because it would have been his old nose. Whatever he does.
How did Joey Ramone become the Scarecrow? That's what people would ask.
As long as he has his old voice where it was really high pitched. That's the funny thing when you listen to Stern pre 88, 87, when everything was super high pitched and super fast. Yeah, and so now his equalizer is
not to get off on a side topic, but that never happens on the show. Microphone compression was not then what it is now.
Yeah,
and that's why he freaks out when anyone speaks into his microphone. Sal did it once, and you realize that he doesn't sound the way he does on the radio. He's a little bit more nasally.
Tune on that joint.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, you can do a lot. But
you ever hear Christian in the real world?
I guess to voice your concerns or learn more about the possibility of Howard Stern playing some iteration of Doctor Doom, you can do what Eric does every day. First thing he gets up and call 516-922-WINE. But anyway, so very interesting, whatever it means. But we will have to see. So yes, Michael, that's the kind of casting stuff that I don't mind getting texts about. Both of those are fine. It's leaks after a movie premiere. That's what, especially like the day that I'm seeing the movie. Let's just say 2 of the 3 people you see right now are going to see Thor tonight. I don't want to say who the 2 are. But we'll have seen it by this time
Have
next
fun
week.
with the ghost of Christian Bale.
He does look like a ghost. Let's Eric, I know we've got you for about 20 or so minutes. So let's dive into Ms. Marvel episode 4. Go ahead. I'm going to let you go first, Count Dagger.
All right. I thought this episode was great.
Oh,
So of course, because Michael and I will listen. You and I disagreeing on things brings balance to the force. Without that, if we're both on the same side, that's a seesaw. Neither of us will ever get off. The truth is, I thought this episode was great because, okay, episode 3, which I wasn't as crazy about as you guys were. I found like those villains don't do much for me. They haven't given them much agency. Their journey is very reminiscent of Doctor Strange and Wanda, So, and that end, I don't quite know their powers. I don't quite know. Their mission is overly familiar. But this episode was the opposite of that for me, in that, it was so specific to the show. I know when in doubt, send them somewhere else. Moon Knight went to Egypt. They go to Pakistan. But I found all the things that made Miss Marvel were on full display here. And then I thought that chase scene in it was actually quite good, compared to the action of the previous episode, which I found to be surprisingly unspecific and not very interesting or exciting. The actual market chase I thought was really cool. And I loved little details like what was in all those cars they kept taking. Yes, you can roll your eyes all you want, Michael.
I was getting like major Moon Knight vibes. I'm like, are we doing this again?
Well, I spent a lot of the early part of the scenes in Karachi trying to figure out what part of Atlanta they had used, but I did the homework. I checked the credits. They went to Thailand, so they filmed in Thailand. So they didn't go to Pakistan, but they did go somewhere else. So kudos to them. Because a lot of the
just
shots,
Marietta or whatever it's called.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's wherever it's like way out in Cobb County. Just way out in Cobb County.
Where the sheriffs all sound like they belong in Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But because I thought that the market was overly dressed, which is usually what you do to compensate for not having a good location. There were like too many canopies and there's just too much of everything. But I thought
have a motorcycle down that street.
What's that? Why didn't they?
Because you could barely drive a motorcycle down.
Yeah,
that
well, that's why they kept crashing into everything.
Oh no!
Yeah. So I liked getting the information out of this episode. I did not really enjoy the presentation of said information. I liked watching Kamala and her grandmother. Grandma's got some adventures somewhere that maybe they'll show us one day. I think that the character building for her and her mom, who is really shrugging off ruining her brother's wedding in a surprising fashion. I think that the ease with which they got away from the damage control facility counteracts the ease with which they were apprehended in the previous episode, which I felt was the weak link. I was surprised that they got out so easily, but also I was surprised they got apprehended in the first place. So I'm going to just consider that a push. But I think, and I like getting the Red Dagger stuff in there. I know that some people are upset for the character who died, that it was unceremonious. But they just probably didn't have any more use for him, I guess, is really what it is. But so I liked this episode, but of the 4 I've seen, I think that I liked this one the least because we didn't get, I like her interactions with her friends, and I like, they took the Jersey girl out of Jersey, and you should always be careful when you do that. But Michael, all of your head shaking and eye rolling. What
Yeah,
did
loved
you
it.
think about
And,
this episode?
and saying the word please.
Plus,
Please.
yeah, I wasn't really into this episode like at all.
What?
Like, I was all right. So first, yeah, like, what about the fact that you ruined probably like a who knows how many $1,000 wedding? You're not gonna talk about it. Then you're just gonna be like, we need to go to Pakistan. They're like, okay, that's fine. You know, you really like. You're really gonna take her on like some world tour after she ruined her brother's wedding? It wasn't believable. The whole episode felt too rushed. Pakistan, Thailand, whatever. Like, I was not feeling that. I was feeling like we were watching Moon Knight outtakes. I I love like Indian Bollywood culture. I'm starting to realize that I'm guessing like Pakistan and India are like the US and the UK or something. Like they broke away from each other or something. I'm just not, I didn't know I was
Yeah.
going to have to take a world history lesson.
Well, I appreciated it, as I mentioned a few episodes because I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know all that. So I don't know. That's all fine and well, but it just seems like things are progressing too fast. I feel like she is a lot better like martial artist than she was. Like, when did that happen? It's just
Yeah, I agree. I think that having the moment where she clearly can't throw a knife was good,
Love
but
I loved that.
yeah, because
that
I
was
think
so good.
I think we need more of that.
that
But
was the
yeah,
best
I
part
agree.
of this
I think
episode.
that
Yeah.
for the sake of story, you can't constantly have her getting her ass kicked, I guess, you know. So
Well, but
it's not-
even that. Sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Michael.
No,
It's not about her getting her ass kicked. It's just about her being so skilled. Like,
Right.
maybe
I don't
she
find
uses
her that skill. Well, I guess maybe for me, I just don't find her still like as mentioned before. I absolutely love when like anything goes wrong, when like someone's new to their powers, still figuring it out. I don't view her as that skilled just yet. I mean, the truth is, with the
compared
kind
to
of
the
power she
beginning?
had, no, but with the kind of power she has access to, it feels like she should be kicking all their asses, but she never seems to. Like it, so it feels like she still is only at the proverbial tip of the iceberg with her
Okay,
power.
so
So
she's not progressing fast enough for you.
no, I think she's progressing at a solid speed, very
Okay.
consistent, keeping the speed limit. One moment I thought was kind of funny though was okay during that fight scene, the guy began to realize, okay, she's not Jin, she's not
Yeah.
part of that. But meanwhile, he threw a knife right at her heart.
Yeah.
And it's like that's an awful big bet that she's going to be able to stop that, because if she didn't, that's not a kind of
Her
that's
powers
not
are
to
so
wound, that's to
instinctual.
kill.
It's
Say
but he
again?
doesn't. But to be fair, he doesn't really know what her powers are. I mean, I guess he
Yeah,
had
no,
a
but
sense,
right,
but
that could have
yeah, you're right.
that could have resulted in this young girl's death. So that was a moment I'm like, that doesn't quite track with the rest of that fight, which
Yeah.
like he purposed, like that one knife throw missed her. It's
Yeah.
close,
No,
but
I
it was more of
agree.
a threat.
Cami Egan thought the episode was okay. I wanted to know more about Nani's mother, Aisha, and why there's so much tension between Kamala's mom and her grandma,
Aisha.
Aisha.
And also the grandmother's rich, it looks like. I mean, I don't know how much that house goes for in
Yeah, it
Pakistan.
looks pretty sweet.
But they definitely had a car service and servants.
Yeah,
you know?
and meanwhile, like her family never came off as rich, living
No,
in, was it Queens? Is that
Jersey City.
Jersey City.
Come on.
Hey, I was gonna say Staten Island. It's like death without dying.
Ghost 83, not
Death
that one.
Without
Let's see.
Dying.
Ghost 8386. I thought this episode was
Thank
great.
you, Ghost.
Look, in general, I like the show. I like what we're getting out of the show. I think that they're building a good story. I continue to like her very much. I think that Aman Vellani does a great job portraying her. I also like Kamala Khan, the character. I think that they're giving us something very good in that sense. I just have to agree that we talked about it last week. The end of the episode, she has some fancy fabric. She does not have the costume.
She's
got the mask.
Mhm.
And we got 2 weeks in which to get that costume down. And
Well, it took
this
them.
is going to be another Daredevil scenario.
No, it was 10 years in Smallville before we saw Superman as Superman. So, what's 6 episodes?
Oh, who wanted to see that hunk in clothes anyway?
not Eric.
You've read my fan fiction, apparently.
Of course.
Your Tom Welling fan fiction with Allison Mack.
Well, the interesting thing, of course, is that Eric's fan fiction is called Not So Smallville. But
no, you missed it. He changed it to Lexium.
I like that too. See, look, everybody can play. Everybody can win.
Allison Mack tonight.
Oh, where's your?
Wait,
you're in a different room, aren't you? You're not in the room
Allison
with all your
Mack.
toys, are you?
No, I'm sorry.
I was going to have you go get Mac tonight, but I just realized your family's still not home.
No, they're back. They're back.
Well, they are, except for your kid who's at camp and can't come and see. Was asking if you had an extra ticket to, if I had an extra ticket to Thor for tonight. Yeah,
I thought my response to him was on point, though.
I tried sending cigarettes to him at that camp. I thought, man, it'd be a lot easier to make friends. And then they sent me this note back saying no one here is at the age of where you're allowed to smoke. But they didn't send me my cigarettes back.
Yeah, consider that the VIG, Michael. The counselors.
The
counselors all have Marlboro Reds for the whole summer now.
He said a nail file hidden in a larger nail file.
But I thought, I think that, look, I agree with the sense that I don't like this threat that is facing her, this Jinn threat.
The genies.
Yeah, I kind of wish she was up against something else, and that this could have been a part of it.
What makes you think she isn't? And that they're not just some kind of lackey? Because that's kind of how
even
it goes.
That makes it worse. Then it's like what you have 6 episodes for a limited series, right? And the fact that the villains
is for.
I know there's a whole Marvel thing, but for 6, I mean, all the other shows we had a good sense of the big bad relatively early, and here it took, as we've discussed, multiple episodes to even give us a sense of who the bad is. But then it has been so frustratingly unspecific. Like, what are their powers? How, as you brought up, Christian, how easy it was for them to get caught. How easy it was for them to escape. Yeah, the one female seems to be the lead, but like, what makes her different than them? And so I think it's really, that's one thing this show's lacking, and I've really enjoyed this show. I would be happy to see if they had a second season or whatever else, but they have really dropped the ball on the villain front. And that's kind of annoying, because that can also help with things like exposition. Like, the more you sort of make the enemy present, the more we learn, the more we care about that information. So it's not expository, it's rather relevant and dramatic. So that's one thing that I've really been disappointed in.
I think you're getting too wrapped up in this show as like an isolated little thing, and not thinking outside the bigger universe of going to space and where these people come from. I think this is all kind of dovetailing into some kind of scroll something.
But even then, like, think the early days of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, you need, before we met Thanos, we met a lot of his sort of sidekicks. But at least they drove the narrative. But in those cases, though, we understood them and they drove narrative. Here, I don't know, they chased them to Pakistan. That's about it. Like, there just hasn't been enough of a sense of, even if it is part of a larger tapestry, which I'm totally cool with, they're not interesting enough to like bring us, to make us want to explore that tapestry more.
I think they're lackeys for something much more.
Yeah, I mean, I think that,
which makes sense. It just isn't very dramatic.
Sense. That they're the foot soldiers, as it were.
It'd be like Superman fighting Otto instead of Lex Luthor.
You mean Ned Beatty?
Yeah, specifically Ned Beatty.
Specifically
as Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty, yeah.
Not as Otto.
Although,
Ned Beatty.
although we know how Ned Beatty responds under pressure. Cammy Egan says,
we know his
Cameron,
kryptonite.
no, don't, whatever you're thinking, don't say it.
I'm not.
Cameron has to come back in either episode 5 or 6 to fight against or alongside
Says who?
his mother. I would say against. But maybe he's missing a couple episodes to take some acting lessons. And I did want to, this is not what we were talking about, but I agree with Ghost. I love the Ant-Man artwork at the Karachi station. There's been a lot of nods to Ant-Man in this series. And I'm still waiting for Paul Rudd to even do like a mock-up trailer for the Ant-Man podcast. So hopefully,
I definitely see major good chemistry between those two characters. Like, they seem perfect to go on some sort of adventure together.
Right. I like this thought from Kemi Egan. I'm convinced the agents from Damage Control that we've seen so far are actually Skrulls.
Maybe
that would make sense for Secret Invasion.
Yeah, that would definitely be. I don't know. That could actually be a fun reveal. Yeah, but I think that this will find it, lead into something bigger. We got the plan about like, they want their universe to kind of come over and take over ours, like showing us the map. And I'm like, all right, but
very eternal.
She couldn't save a kid from falling on the roof of a car. So
let it go.
Ivan mentioned something in the chat. Was I surprised that she's already in the world saving business? And usually that's the case. You usually end up way over your head and you have to prove yourself to the audience, but no one will ever appreciate what Kamala will do to keep us all safe. But I think it'll all lead into the Marvels. And I think that's really you're getting the feeling like this is definitely an incomplete story. This series is like when they would do like an issue number 0, of like, let's kind of fill in some stuff so you know them a little bit better before
the one they give away for free comic
book day. Yeah. These 6 episodes are the free comic book day. And,
did anyone else notice the thing with her bracelet when he translated it and he said, like what you're looking for is looking for you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did anyone think Carol
is looking for her? Yeah, probably. I did think that.
I think Carol is looking for her.
Yeah.
What the ending of this episode, by the way, I was going to mention. Did you guys watch the season of Russian Doll?
I have not seen it. No.
It's so hard to watch that show. It's like Memento in color.
Because Memento was all in black and white. Which version did you watch? The special Shirley cut of every movie is black and white.
Memento is kind of dulled colors to me.
That's muted. Well, the end of this
episode, not Technicolor,
right?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So the end of the episode.
Yeah, Russian Doll's second season actually was about that kind of thing, where first season, is like a Groundhog Day thing. Second season was about sort of traveling to the past, trying to solve problems of the past. And they used trains as the way they would go. So that end moment completely was giving me Russian Doll vibes when suddenly she's at the station. Though I did have a question about that. I thought her family had to flee from India, to get to that city. So
to get to what we assume that they were going to Karachi.
Right. Right. Didn't they arrive at Karachi? Wasn't that the whole train ride? Isn't that her local
think that's
station?
The story that they've told us a few times.
Because I was confused because the end it seemed like they
were trying to get out of the India part, I guess,
right?
Because I don't know, was the thinking that was still under British rule and
right? No,
Pakistan
I got that.
Wasn't
but wasn't Karachi the local station for her?
I don't know that they're at. I think the train is heading to Karachi. I don't think
you know who we need to call about this. Jeff, he is the best geographer I know.
Well, our pal Jeff Williams is very busy and very disappointed.
Just because he can find Indiana on a map.
Very disappointed to hear that Eric was able to make it to this screening tonight. He actually did not say that. I'm putting that in. I'm putting his word.
When they showed Nani's house, I was like, I bet Jeff wants to get in that house.
Yeah.
has
that's
this
a
brilliant.
house he can't afford.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that shot though of her on top of the train. You know, obviously that's a lot of plate work and CGI work, but I thought it looked really cool. And
Yeah.
I am definitely excited to see that sequence where she's back in the past. And I also want the explanation why stabbing the bangle brought her back into the past. And I'm not going to make a Susanna Hoffs joke.
You wanted to.
Well, because I thought that you don't want to let John Hinckley know that, because that seems exactly like the sort of thing that now that he's a free man, he might actually try and do to go back in time.
He's more of a banana.
Really impressed Jodie Foster.
He's more of a Bananarama guy. Don't worry about it.
We all are. Yeah. Well, it is a cruel summer. But what were you going to say, Michael?
Oh, I was going to say I'm still kind of convinced that the Bengals Annette Bening, and the best part of her life is in the past. So.
the part of her life where she was with Warren Beatty.
She's still with Warren Beatty.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. They're still a power couple. Just
good for them.
Power's running a little low.
Yeah, good for them. I'm happy for them. Yeah. So look, I didn't love the watching the episode. I think that we got some good information. I think it did move the story along, but it was missing
we all agree that this episode sucked.
We did not all agree. Eric liked this more than last week.
Oh, right.
But you suck.
Yeah, and yeah. So I'm excited to see, what the time in the past will yield, and then episode 6 is where she's going to save everything. So we gotta, and the way that these Disney Plus series work, we probably got about 90 more minutes of show over the next 2 weeks to see how it all comes together. But in any case, I want to make sure that we give Eric the opportunity for his Jerry Springer final thought right now. Anything else you'd like to share before you head off to the classroom, as it were? And
well, you can, and Fezzik is saying hello as well, of course, because why wouldn't he?
We have the answer to the question asked long ago by the Baja Men. We know. So, yes, your thoughts.
Final thoughts. Very excited for these last 2 episodes. That all being said, my issues with the sort of lack of villainy, so to speak, in this aside, I think this show has been it's almost like a perfect summer show. It's kind of light on its feet. The style is good. The texting, they still find like new interesting ways. Like I love the kites all became the emojis in the text. I thought was a really cute touch. And it's just I've enjoyed that they do trust us as an audience, that like they can just allow her to hang out with family. Like I thought the scenes between her mom and grandma were great. And I like a lot of the guys in the chat. I have a lot of questions like, well, what happened there? Because clearly she went to America with like almost nothing, considering where she lives, how she lives versus how her mom lives. And I guess too pride to ask for anything. And so there's a lot of interesting things there. And I've enjoyed, if this is like a cousin to Moon Knight on that end, that's great. I mean, I think the idea that these shows have become a bit more international and inclusive has only helped the storytelling. So, yeah, and I'm excited for these last 2 episodes. And I'm really excited to see Christian in the wild tonight at Thor. He's going to bring the love, and I'm going to bring the thunder.
Yeah, you do always bring the thunder. I thought that was an interesting way to characterize this show, because what I've always said about Eric Connor is that he's like school in summer, no class. But we're so glad that you were here to chat with us, and I look forward to seeing you tonight. And tomorrow night, I believe Eric is going to pop in on something we're doing here on the Blackcast YouTube channel. I've got 1 episode to watch, which I will do today, and then we will be doing a special. Ivan, you asked for this. We're doing a special on the first season, or perhaps entire series of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we'll talk about that you can join Eric. Will pop in, and I'll be there with our friend Rachel Goodman and Ryan Nilsson, from who people remember from AfterBuzz, and he always put the DC show before this show, but we loved him anyway. If there was ever a scheduling conflict, he'd always jump over to the DC show, and we're like, thanks for leaving us high and dry, Ryan. But that's all right. We love him anyway. Eric, I'll see you tonight, and bring the thunder. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Michael.
Oh my gosh. Cami Egan says about the show, I love how the family feels like a real family and relatable they are. I thought you were talking about us at first, and then I realized you were talking about Ms. Marvel, but that's also fine. And Cami Egan also thought the same thing. She could see Jeff standing outside that house recording how he was not going to be able to live there. And the train in the past was going to Karachi, so leaving from India is what I think we should assume. And Ivan Soto, I miss AfterBuzz. Is it ever returning? No. The very simple answer: no, it is not. What were you going to say, Michael? It's not. I don't say that with any joy. I'm not happy to report that. And while I've never been told that, I do know that building is there, but the equipment is not. So, look for your friends from AfterBuzz. Many of them are doing their own shows and channels and things like that. What were you going to say, Michael?
I just got so excited because I just had this epiphany. So I keep trying to connect the Ant-Man Ms. Marvel thing. If she's going back in time, Ant-Man's the only one who could probably go back in time.
Yeah, I mean, they did need him for Endgame. You're right.
I think that's going to be something. I don't know where or why, but I think they're going to work together on some kind of time zone.
So do you think that Ant-Man could be in the Marvels? I don't think he's showing up here on this show, but...
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, if he does, it'll be like almost like a Robert Downey Spider-Man type of thing.
Yeah. And yes, they're going quantum, baby. In any case, look, I'm looking forward to it. And Michael, you still haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, right?
Because Jeff told me I didn't need to see it anymore.
I don't know why Jeff would have told you that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it doesn't seem like something Jeff
no,
would
that's
say.
Nothing Jeff would ever say.
Yeah.
And I miss Jeff.
I'm right here. Come on.
I know. It's like missing people, when you're already with someone you miss.
Yeah, I get it.
But I think maybe some of our fans might like to know something that I put out there for Jeff, like at 2 this morning.
I did see that when I woke up. Yeah.
Hot Topic has currently 25 different designs of tank tops. I didn't even look at t-shirts. 25 different Morbius tank top designs on their website.
Because when it's Morbin time, it means it's also time for the gun show.
So, do you want to know the best part of it?
I do.
Not a single one of them has Jared Leto as Morbius. They're all just like cartoon characters of Morbius.
He probably, if I had to guess, they probably didn't get the likeness rights to
That's
Jared
bullshit, because they sold 30 Seconds to Mars t-shirts for like $9.99 in Hot Topic. So whatever.
Well, and that's in first position for your Jared Leto swag.
That's the top shelf.
Yeah.
And then Morbius is like down where like the like shitty vodka is.
Look, I think that when we get Morbius 2, we'll have an inside track on release date and casting. Look, you can watch that at home now, Michael. I really think you should waste your time on that. Although some people we know would say that it's certainly worth the investment, and it's a great hour and 45 minutes of entertainment.
I can see it now. Morbius 2 co-starring like KD Holmes.
I love that idea. In any case, that is all the time we have for this week. I look forward to seeing Captain. Nope. Ms. Marvel, get it tied up and see where the story goes, and then get us ready for the Marvels, which isn't until like next summer, but that's all right. I Morbius is like drinking vodka spelled with a C, says Dominicus Saxon. So I wanted to bring that in there. Michael, you'll be back with us next week, and so will Eric. And then at the end of next week, we'll have our traditional pre-recorded episode for all of you early birds who go to see Thor next Thursday or Friday. So sometime Friday night, you'll be able to find Eric and I talking about it. And Michael will see it maybe in 45 days from Thursday. You know, it'll be on Disney Plus at that point, so at least it'll be easy for you.
I'm super as excited about it as I was before I saw like trailers and things. Like I was more excited when I was like imagining what it would be like.
Yeah, that's fine. I look forward to it. I like the characters in this movie and the actors who portray them. So I'm ready. But until next week, Michael, where can people find you?
You can find me at I Hate Michael Shirley on Instagram and Michael X Shirley on Twitter.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChristianDMZ. And as I mentioned, tomorrow night, Thursday at 9 Pacific. Yes, that's midnight Eastern, but you'll be able to find the archive if you like. We will recap season 1 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And just subscribe to the Blackcast YouTube channel. You'll find stuff like that whenever we do it. You'll know it's coming. And of course, subscribe to the Blackcast audio podcast, where we're hovering dangerously close to episode 500. And I'm this close to actually figuring out what we're going to do for it, but still this close. But that is all the time we have for this. And of course, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChristianDMZ. And Ivan, the Kenobi show will be a live show. Our Thor show will be the recorded show. And then we'll also do a live Thor show at some point once more of our friends have seen it. But that's the plan for right now. That's all the time we have for right now. Until next time, as the great Stan Lee would say, Excelsior!